All righty. I call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilman Boyer.
Here.
Councilman Underwood.
Here.
Councilman Wilkie.
Kyle.
Kyle. Councilman Dennis. Councilman Gray.
Here.
Councilman Cook.
Here.
Councilman Tenen.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Wilkie's here.
Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, gentlemen. Approval of the consent agenda. Tonight, for warrants, we have a total of $514,611.05. Do we have any correspondence?
Need a motion.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Councilman Underwood.
Yes.
Councilman Wilkie. Councilman Dennis.
Yes.
Councilman Gray.
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilman Tenen.
Yes.
Motion passes. Remarks of visitors.
None.
We have no visitors to make remarks. Bids. The roofing bid for 500 Ridge Avenue Maintenance Shed.
Does anyone have any questions on this?
The only question I have, Greg, is this like a dire emergency like we need to do this year?
Yeah, this was, if you recall, last year, the roof was damaged. We had some pretty severe hail damage on it. This is Allen's shop, as it's more commonly known. We thought we were going to get an insurance settlement on that. We did not, because they used this spray-on roof system that just, so the money's in the budget. Obviously, we were hoping for the insurance settlement to cover a portion of this, which we did not get. But we can certainly cover it out of our building maintenance budget as well.
Since Brian Wayner's not on, I promised to extend his concerns. He would like to see a spending freeze. So I'm relaying that on Brian's behalf, and that's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I think something like that, though, that's pretty important. A lot of water leakage up there. That's
Oh,
pretty
more
bad.
damage. Yeah.
The damage is, every time it rains, the damage gets a little bit worse.
Right.
It leaks essentially around the, there are no eaves, so the roof where it joins the walls, it's a leak issue every
All
time.
the insulation's falling down. I mean, it's pretty bad. I went up there and checked all that. Yeah. It's pretty horrible in that corner.
Is there any other discussion? I'll make a motion. I'll entertain a motion to approve the bid of $28,117.47.
So move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Tenen.
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilman Dennis.
Yes.
Councilman Wilkie.
Yes, if that was me.
Okay. Councilman
Hey, Brian.
Okay.
Okay. Councilman Wayner.
Yes. Yes.
Motion passes. Ordinance number 4571 is on the agenda. Would the clerk please read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 4571, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, establishing stop signs at both intersections of Masters Drive and Championship Lane in Tanglewood subdivision and establishing an effective date.
Discussion?
What's the main reason? What are we putting these up there for? Does anybody know?
Yes, as you know, Bill, I'm quite familiar with the area. Masters Drive is just about completed, so now we have a lot of traffic coming up the hill, and there's 2 or 3 families right there at the corner that have kids, little ones, and for traffic safety reasons, I asked the chief to come up and take a look, and this is what he's recommended.
So it's safety for the citizens and the kids.
Yes.
I went around town, we've got about 59 others just like that. I could go each one. Bailey Station, they've been asking for years where you go through Bailey Station and up the hill and all the kids there. There's 3 roads. We're going to need 4-way stops there. Anyway, there's a total of about 100, 150 stop signs we're going to need. If it's the same exact situation though, so we can stay safe for the kids over here and the kids there. I have no problem with it as long as we put the other 100, 150 up. I don't want to just do it for one, and the other kids aren't as important or anything like
Well, wouldn't we have to bring that one at a time, Bill, or make a list? This is what's on the agenda.
Exactly. I'd like to see it done as one so everybody's treated equal, that's all.
Yeah, turn your list in and then have Matt start working on it.
No, it has to go through the chief.
Has to go through the chief of police also.
I would like to second kind of what Bill was saying there. I think it's great that we want to add stop signs at Tanglefoot, but I also think that the chief or whoever needs to do that could probably get a list together for us, so that we know some other areas in town, as I've seen it even over here by the police station and my ward, and heard about it from lots of other wards as well, especially like Bill mentioned, Bailey Station and those other areas that have grown quite a bit. So I think that would be a good thing to kind of look at for not necessarily right now, but some future planning with the amount of subdivisions and kids and families we have in town.
I would like to look into this too, because Tom Nolan's already called me, the Bailey Station HOA. His request was declined about 2 years ago when I brought it in. So yeah, I definitely like to look and see more.
Yeah, like a good example is Chief Lewis lives in Asher Place, 1 street up from where a road goes back in. We need to look at that. That's got like 10 houses. The one in Tanglewood has 2. So, I mean, I'm not saying they don't need it up to 2 houses, but in Tim's subdivision, there's 10 or 20 houses and there's no stop signs there. I just want to, only if it's danger, then it should be everywhere. That's all.
Okay, well, is there any other discussion?
Objection. I would like to see the list, something to look at and see if we're improving things or not, or how long it takes to get it done.
Yeah, I could give you every one of them I could go around town, I'll do it myself, and then I can give them to Greg, every one of them, and then we can pass them all at once for safety.
Yeah, I think Bill's got a good idea. He knows the area. Let him put it together.
That sounds good to me.
Is there any other discussion on this bill?
Well, I think it should be brought back to us. It's going to be done.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
I'd like for him to come back with a list of those streets that need that stop sign.
With this one is part of it. This one is part of it.
So you want a master list?
This one is part of, instead of each one, we'll decide we'll bring them all at once and pass it.
we'll pass that here, individual as they come up, you know, so.
So it's not gonna stop this.
Yeah, it's not gonna keep us for another 5 years trying to get this done. We'll have a list of things that are going to be done.
Okay, gentlemen, is there any other discussion? I'll entertain a motion to read Bill 4571 for the second time and title only.
So moved.
Second.
It's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Motion does not carry. Bill 4571 will be carried over for the next meeting. We have bill number 4572 on the agenda. Will the clerk please read that bill for the first time?
Bill number 4572, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute a contract with Stop and Van Hoy LLC for professional auditing services, incorporating said contract as part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date.
Can I have a staff's discussion?
Sure, and just real quick, they just finished our previous year audit, a clean audit. There was an electronic copy sent to all of you. And if you have any questions specific to it, you can stop in or call Stephanie, our finance director, at any time. Very clean audit. Really, the only thing that stood out, there's some new government accounting standards boards rules that were turned out in the last year, specific to the closure of the wastewater treatment facility. And unfortunately, DNR doesn't give us any guidance on how to provide answers to the requirements of GASB. So that was one thing they did, if you recall, ding us on, but obviously our response was because we don't have any guidance from DNR to be able to provide an answer to their questions at this point. So clean audit, good audit. Stop and Van Hoy has been very good to work with, and we would recommend going back with just a small increase, going back with them for another 2 years.
I had a question about the ding that we had from DNR. Is that something that we're waiting on correspondence from them for the fix, or is that something that will be completed when the lift station project?
Yeah, it's not
time is done.
the station project, Kyle.
Okay.
If you want to call it a ding, what GASB wants us to provide is a total cost. If the plant closed tomorrow, what would be the total cost of shutting the plant down? Well, you don't just close a wastewater treatment facility, you have to open another one. So the closure costs are, you can't, I mean, other than hauling the sludge, there's not really anything more than you would have to do, but DNR doesn't say that these other items would need to be incorporated as part of the consideration of the cost. So we weren't able to provide them with that number. So that was the reason for the thing that they picked up on it.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it.
Is the GASB, what their recommendation is just that, a recommendation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion on Bill 4572? If not, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules and read Bill 4572 for the second time in title only?
So moved.
Motion's been made
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you please read Bill 4572 for the second time?
Bill number 4572, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute a contract with Stop and Van Hoy LLC for professional auditing services, incorporating said contract as part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date. Councilman Tennant.
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilman Gray.
Yes.
Councilman Dennis.
Yes.
Councilman Waiter.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Councilman Underwood.
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Bill 4572 has passed. We also have Bill 4573 on the agenda. Would the clerk please read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 4573, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute a contract with WCC Roofing for the removal and replacement of the metal roof at 500 Ridge Avenue Maintenance Shed, incorporating said contract as a part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to read the bill for the second time, to suspend the rules and read the bill for the second time.
So moved.
Motion's been made
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, would the clerk please read the bill 4573 for the second time?
Bill number 4573, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute a contract with WCC Roofing for the removal and replacement of the metal roof at 500 Ridge Avenue Maintenance Shed, incorporating said contract as part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date. Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Councilman Underwood.
Yes.
Councilman Gray.
Yes.
Councilman Tennant.
Yes.
Councilman Dennis. Councilman Dennis.
Kevin?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Councilman Wilkie.
Yes.
Bill 4573 has passed. Reports. Councilman Underwood.
Nothing, Mr. Mayor, everything sounded well. I like what we did at the park. None of our park people are here, but they did a good job. I just want to thank them for that. Good at controlling the crowd. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Boyer.
Greg, is the businesses around the area, do you know if they've checked into that paycheck protection program?
We've, there's been several inquiries to EDC, and Enterprise Bank is one of the local lenders along with Midwest Regional, but there's been several. I obviously don't know them by name, but obviously that's a forgivable loan from the SBA, payroll protection. So it's a good program. I hope our local businesses take advantage of it.
In the CARES Act for the coronavirus fund, said there's $150 billion state and local governments can entertain.
Yeah, there was a article just came out today. Missouri just approved a $6.2 billion emergency aid package. It's kind of a still evolving plan, but some of that is the federal money coming through the state. But that's specifically for schools, local governments, universities, and emergency management agencies. There is going to be some money made available to us to try to make us whole for the added expense of what we're doing in response to the COVID-19 crisis. So that just happened today. So that $6.2 billion is specifically earmarked for cities, schools, and universities.
Okay, good deal. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Weiner.
Yes, sir. So, one of the things that I did this afternoon, or actually this morning at 11 o'clock, I was on a conference call. And first of all, can everyone hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was on a conference call this morning at 11 o'clock, and it had to do with the homeless in the area here. And what it specifically had to do with was the homeless that have contracted the COVID-19. And the concern in this regard was that these people who would contract this, if they weren't isolated, would just further spread this virus and pose a threat to our community's health. So there were various agencies on this call, and it seemed like the lead agency at the time, who is yet to be determined, but was Mercy Hospital. And what they have done so far is they have a hotel in Fenton, and that is where they will be putting in an overflow building people who are homeless and don't have anywhere to stay. That's where they'll be isolated. There were a lot of issues they talked about. They talked about the transportation of getting people up there, about the staffing problems of a nurse or nurses up there. And then, of course, there was a funding issue also. And right now, they're able to have $1,000 per household through a community services block grant. So I think this is something that I don't know how we necessarily can support it, but I think it's something we should all be aware of that's going on, and that we need to support if they ask for our help. I don't know how that will be. So that's one big thing I think that is really important. Greg, last week or a couple weeks ago, I asked you about a special edition, if maybe that might be something that we could do to keep our citizens involved. How's that coming along?
Hopefully it'll hit the mail tomorrow.
Okay, that's great.
All right, we're also going to distribute that on the House of the Leader.
Wonderful. Thank you for doing that. One of the things that I'm also was concerned about, not so much anymore on our daily walks, I'm seeing, talking with the police around town, they were concerned about their, not having enough masks and personal protection equipment. And with the mask coming in, I think that's lessened to some degree. So hopefully those masks will be in soon, and we'll be able to further protect our police, fire, and essential workers. One thing that they did come up when I was asking this officer what they needed or what else they could use, and that is like an enforcement issue, so that they don't have to be subjugated to like the county or the health department. And how are we coming along with them being able to do their duty if they need to during this time?
Obviously, that's something, Brian, if you want to chime in here, I know it's something we've spent some time talking about. There is certainly an ordinance on our books that allows the officer to give people directions if they don't comply. It would be a misdemeanor infraction. If you want to expand on that, Brian?
Sure. Yeah. So we do have that ordinance, as Greg referenced, where if someone disobeys a lawful order of a police officer, for instance, if someone is violating the state or the county order and they refuse to disperse or something like that, our officers could cite and potentially even arrest a person who violates that order, and they can be given a citation, and that'll be handled through our municipal court, which obviously now is in Division 14 in Hillsborough. One drawback to that approach is obviously all courts proceedings throughout the state, municipal, state, appellate, and beyond, are all suspended right now. So you can give someone a court date, but we're not going to be able to resolve that case for a little while. My understanding
ends up being a money thing also.
Well, yeah, that's one aspect of it
writing
too.
A bunch of tickets.
Yeah, and there is the other issue, as I understand it. I know every county is the word I've kind of been receiving from my other clients is that there's a desire for all the counties to have enforcement primarily go through the health departments at the county level. I think that's largely so that there's some consistency with how these orders are enforced. So I think the best approach is probably to continue to coordinate with the county health department. My understanding from my discussions with Greg has been that they have been pretty responsive and aggressive in taking action against people who are and businesses that are not complying with the orders, and they can refer them potentially for prosecution for violating the state or the county orders. And that would either go through the Jefferson County Counselor's Office or through the state prosecuting attorney's office. But typically, my understanding is that the way the health department prefers this proceed is that they be notified if there's a violation. If that's workable for the time being, I'd encourage you to continue doing so. If for whatever reason we find that that's just not a suitable enforcement mechanism, we could explore things like, for instance, citing people for violating the city's failure to comply ordinance or something else.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I just want to also say, everybody, I mean, I think the city's just doing a great job. If there's just one little thing I think that we can strive for, though, is better communications with our citizens. So if we could keep pumping that out there, and through different media sources and through print, I would really appreciate that, because I think it's something that's really needed right now. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Council.
All right. Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Wilkie.
Okay. Sorry, I've had to get my whiteboard of to-do list stuff for my yard that I didn't get done and write notes down because I wanted to remember a couple things. So I just wanted to thank you, Sam, City Administrator Greg, everyone and anyone who's been at the city helping during all of this, to get the word out and to be as proactive as we can to keep our citizens safe. As far as what Brian was saying, I agree. As far as the education, I think we need to do more with the education piece, just from the people that I've talked to in my backyard who walk along the park path. They're a little confused on what they can and can't do, or what they maybe heard their neighbors say or someone falsely said in social media, which I get. It's just kind of the nature of the world we're living in. But if we have more education coming out on behalf of the city, and not just social media, but mail or print or the leader, to get to those that, may not know exactly what's going on, but are only informed as what they see on TV or what they hear. So just some of those things. And then I also wanted to thank Parks Department for getting the parks squared away so that it wasn't a place for congregating and not following CDC recommendations at this time of unknown with COVID. I think that us doing those things as a city has really shown people how much we care. And if we educate them along with that, I think they'll appreciate it even more. The next thing that I wanted to kind of bring up was, since we are in that time of year where people are doing their spring cleaning or once every 4 years cleaning like I've been doing, I think that it's important that we look at, I know we typically have in April, near Earth Day, the end of April, we have recycling thing, where you can drop off. I think, I don't know if we'll be able to do that with what's going on, but I think educating people on existing code and ordinance, as well as what they can and can't throw away, with a recycling company, so that we're staying in compliance with them and recycling and using those bins correctly. And then if people have yard waste, where they can go to dump that, or how they can get, I know that it comes a certain day of the month, but I have to ask my neighbor or go look up the paper when I first registered to remember that sometimes. So if we could kind of, since people are starting to do their spring cleaning and be home, if we could kind of give them some guidance on where they can take things, I think that would be important. I'm going to wrap it up here shortly. I know I'm getting long-winded. I'm sorry for those of us that are ready to be done with this. I have a lot to say, and I've been thinking a lot as we've been on break, as most of you probably have figured out by now. I think that education stuff's important, along with, because we're informed on what we're doing, and I can tell people what we're doing, but if it's not going to the masses, then to me, it's not necessarily effective. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up was, I've been talking with Tanglefoot Association, the design committee, and a little bit with Denny, and everyone is, in that mode where you have to kind of restructure business plans or slow things down. I think that if we could put together a list of local businesses that are available for drop off, or however they're complying with state, county, and federal ordinances, I think that would be good of us as a city. But the biggest thing with Tanglefoot that I've been kind of working on for a while is, dare I say it, the planters. I think that the Tanglefoot Association has been strapped with those because they've been having business owners water, or one of the design committee women brings milk jugs. So while they're not ready to discuss planters at this time, I think that as a city, we should say that we will water them with our workers, and I can get whoever at Parks Department or Street Department connected with the design committee there to get that rolling, as we can still have a beautiful city, being homebound, or whatever the future may hold. So I'm asking that we do that as a city. I would like to hear back about that, because I've asked a few times and it hasn't gone anywhere. So if I could hear back by the next meeting, I would appreciate that. And I just wanted to end with thanks again to everyone. I know this has been stressful for some of us, or all of us, just trying to figure and navigate some of these new things out, including the technology, like I had some frustrations with. But thank you for, even though I'm staying distant, keeping us all updated as a council, and letting us know what's going on. And that is all.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Gray.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know this is for everybody, but I'll just say it for myself. I lost a very dear friend, Earl Cook, this week, and I just wanted everybody just to remember him. And he was really one of the best people I ever knew. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you, Councilman. Councilman Dennis.
I didn't hear who Bill said we lost.
Earl Cook.
Earl Cook.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm my audio's not that great. Yeah, may you rest in peace. Earl was a good man. We're gonna miss him. It seems like we're all sticking together. One thought did come to mind. I don't listen to the local AM station, but I would imagine anybody that don't have computer access to Facebook and things of that nature, maybe some public announcements on there. Maybe we're already doing that. Seems like the city's running. I think we were right on with our plan to try to keep people away from each other. And I hope everybody, when they come in contact, all of our services have some sort of mask, and maybe even look into these cloth masks that folks are making. I know We got 3 of them donated to us for me, Carl, and Kyle. We're staying kind of close with Kyle. He has respiratory problems, so but that'd be one thought where you had your own mask and you could wash it. You can disinfect it by putting it in the microwave that don't have any metal in it for 30 seconds, or you can put it in the freezer. This will all kill germs, but that might be something that public announcement you put out. Anybody wants to donate cloth masks for our city workers, that would be a good thing. I know to have my own, and I'm responsible for it. I can take it home and wash it. But it's all good to see you. Technology, I'm not real great at it, but I want to see if I could just do this once. So it's good seeing you all. I can't see Mike very well or Bill, but I hope everybody's well and staying well. And that's all I have, sir.
Thank you very much. Councilman Cook.
I heard you very clear also, Dennis. Mr. Dennis, just wanted to let you know.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Councilman Cook.
Thank you, sir. Stay safe, my friends, and I have nothing, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Tenen.
I appreciate all the info you guys just passed on, and I really don't have a whole lot. It's kind of tough out there trying to get stuff done, and just the unknown is really pretty hard to understand. But that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. I'd like to say that I'm extremely proud of our employees who come to work and keep the city running despite the challenges we are facing. I encourage all citizens to stay at home, and if you have to go out, wear a face mask and use hand sanitizer. Maintain the 6-foot social distancing wherever you are. Remember, stay home, stay safe, and this too shall pass. And I would also like to say that we did lose a pillar of the community when Earl passed away, and he will be missed.
Amen.
Is there any other comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Hearing none, we are adjourned.